And thanks, Steve. I have regained my confidence in the last couple of days with the Pirates. I was kind of worried a little bit.
I think a lot of folks have, and it's not because the Pirates have been playing that great the last few weeks. That road trip, they won just 4 of 10, but the Mets haven't been playing well either, and that continued today, which is good. And the Pirates don't play until later tonight, but their magic number dropped to 10 this afternoon. Pittsburgh can make it 9 with the win over St. Louis in the first game of a 3-game set at Three Rivers Stadium. The Bucs play 9 of their final 12 games at home. That's certainly in their favor. Lefty Zane Smith gets the start against former Pirate Jose De Leon. The Bucs lead the Mets by 3 games in the East. That's because the Mets fell to the Cubs 4-3 today at Wrigley. The Mets had a 2-1 lead in the 4th when the Cubs put together back-to-back homers off David Cohn. Don Zimmer would watch Mark Grace rip this shot to right field. That tied the game 2-2. And then Andre Dawson, who's having another good year, tees off on Cohn with a homer to left. Chicago on top 3-2. The Mets added a long ball to tie the game in the top half of the 8th inning. Howard Johnson hits his 22nd home run of the year. The game went into the bottom half, tied 3-3. And that's when Ryne Sandberg came to the plate. He hits a fly ball to center field, not very deep, but it is deep enough to score Jerome Walton from third base. It was Sandberg's 93rd RBI of the season, and Chicago hands New York its 5th straight loss, the final 4-3 at Wrigley. Well, only once before has Joe Paterno watched his team get off to an 0-2 start. That was back in 1983 when that team lost 3 straight to begin the season before picking up its first win. Paterno and the Nittany Lions don't want to duplicate that feat Saturday against Rutgers at Beaver Stadium. Rutgers at 2-0 upset Penn State 2 years ago at University Park. And the Lions played well last week against Southern Cal, losing 19-14 to the Trojans. Paterno says continued improvement will be a key if Penn State hopes to turn things around.
It's a very important football game for this squad. And I would hope they'll play. I think we'll have to play a better football game than we did the first 2 football games, or we won't win. And that's all I try to do with any football team I've had. Try to convince them that they've got to get a little bit better each week, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Well, Mount Pleasant at Johnstown highlights this evening's high school football schedule. Rick Liner will be at the Point. Phil D'Amato will be in Evansboro, where Central Cavalry goes after its 4th win in a row against Richland. We'll also have highlights from Conemaugh Township and Blairsville. Those games and all the scores at 11 o'clock. Well, most bowlers would be thrilled to have 1 300 game to their credit, but Rick Liner reports on a man who has 6 perfect games in this week's winner's circle.
Bowling strikes isn't anything new for Homer Slake. Of the half-dozen 300 games he's rolled, 4 have come in the past 6 months. That's an incredible feat.
Something you strive to get, and you finally have a chance to achieve it, and you really put everything into it. It's a very, very satisfying feeling to be able to do it, and it's very rewarding afterwards.
It's a rewarding experience just to watch him bowl. Homer's style is not unique at all. He has a 5-step approach, a fingertip grip, and throws a hook. The Jerome native bowls 7 days a week and competes in 3 leagues.
Tournaments is where it all boils down to. You bowl the leagues to practice for the tournaments, basically. If you're serious about bowling tournaments, you'd like to go every weekend.
Homer started bowling when he was 3 years old. He said he's a successful bowler because he practices and keeps up with the ever-changing lane conditions and equipment.
If you want to compete in a tournament, you better know what's going on these days, because there's so many different types of new balls coming out. You really got to be on top of what's going on, or you're not going to be able to compete with today's lanes and conditions and the bowlers.
Homer says one day he would like to turn professional, and we wish him the best of luck. Homer Slake in this week's Winner's Circle. Rick Liner, SportsCenter 6, Jerome.